You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I have got your weekly spoilers for Monday, December 30th, all the way through Friday, January 3rd. And what's strange about this, and I don't know if it's because of sports, is Bold and the Beautiful is supposed to be giving us 4 episodes, where Y&R is only giving us 3, and it's on earlier. So I'm interested to see if they actually short us on Bold or give us 1 extra on Y&R, because they usually do the same thing on both the soaps. So it's really weird. But New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are going to be encores. So this week, we've got Jordan kidnapping Sharon as Ian grabs 2 wives. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please reach down, click subscribe. Let's dive in. Big stuff happening this week. Monday, December 30th is season 52, episode 60. So Mariah is at her mom's house and she tells the family she's going to meet Tessa. They're going to do New Year's Eve at Society since Tessa's working. And Sharon doesn't want to stay home. She wants to get out and celebrate. Things are looking up, and Faith and Nick decide to join them. Nick is quite worried about danger from whoever this murderer is, and he talks about being happy that the GCPD is reopening Heather's murder investigation. But he wants to keep an eye on Sharon, and they wind up driving separately. Looks like Mariah drives separately, Sharon drives separately, and Faith and Nick drive together, which is all very important for what is coming. Jordan is lurking outside Crimson Lights, and she sees Claire in there talking, and of course, you know, she's got a big grudge against her. But then she has to leave because she gets a text from Ian saying 30 minutes until go time. So Ian and Jordan's next move is dangerous for several people. Meanwhile, over at the new ranch house, Victor and Nikki are very happy about how things are going with the family. Their one concern is that Nick is getting too close to Sharon, who they still feel is just troublesome, and, you know, they're not entirely sure she didn't kill Heather. They don't like any of that. Claire shows up and joins them because Kyle and Harrison are sick. So she and Kyle are going to do New Year's later in the week. Claire is very happy that Victor offered her dad Cole a job, and the 3 of them toast. And then Nick and Faith stop by with the update on the investigation. Nick's telling his parents that the GCPD believes Sharon, you know, might not have done this, and he's very happy they're going to look into it more. So maybe that'll chill his parents out. I don't know. Jack and Diane are smooching at the mansion, and then they invite Traci Abbott to join them at the GCAC Jazz Lounge because her boyfriend Alan is, I think he's snowed in while traveling. There's a couple of snow-in things going on. Christine is over at the Jazz Lounge, and she runs into Lauren and Michael, and she tells them Danny is stuck in Canada because of weather, and Nina is staying in LA for New Year's Eve, so they decide to ask Cricket to join them. All nice and good, and then Phyllis shows up at the GCAC with Summer and Daniel as her dates. Cricket's not happy to see them. Michael and Lauren are on pins and needles about Phyllis. The Abbotts are there. They show up and they start talking to Lauren and Michael and Christine. They all decide they need to just ignore Phyllis, who is super salty about everything, and she complains to her kids about Michael pulling this stunt. They want her just to drop it. You know, they want to have a good evening. And Michael is talking to Cricket about Sharon's hypnosis and the GCPD reopening the investigation. And of course, that's when Phyllis gets up close enough to overhear, and she completely comes unglued, and she's nasty to Cricket, saying that Danny is probably off with a groupie. And then Phyllis's kids drag her away because she's being terrible. So Danny does show up. He pops up and he kisses a surprised Christine, and Phyllis gets even angrier that she was completely wrong about the groupie thing. Daniel goes over to talk to his dad, Danny, and the Abbotts, and Phyllis has had enough and she storms off. Looks like she's headed upstairs to her room. So Ian is lurking and spying on Tessa, who's talking to Abby, and then Devon shows up, so Abby goes to sit with him. Ian comes in, chats with Tessa about getting a table for dinner later, and when her back is turned, he drugs her water. So she gets kind of dizzy, steps outside to clear her head, and collapses right into Ian's arms. And then Mariah arrives, and she is stunned to see Ian with her wife. Meanwhile, Jordan sneaks up behind Sharon, who is parking to go into society, and chloroforms her. Jordan has to be so strong because you remember she hauled Claire out of the house. She does like chloroform. All right, Tuesday, December 31st on New Year's Eve, we have an Encore episode. This is a rerun of one from like 6-7 weeks ago from November 8th, 2024. This is the day that Victor brought Nikki to show her the new ranch house he had built for her. That's the same day Abby and Devon are finalizing their wedding plans, and they are really interested to find out they're going to be having their big event at the new ranch house. So this is a really fun episode. Then on Wednesday, January 1st, the first day of 2025, we have another Encore episode. This one is much, much older. It's from April 6th, 2006, and I think they're showing us this for a reason. So in this episode, Sharon is confronting Phyllis for cheating with Nick. So I guess they're going to show any maybe newer fans some of the past dynamic and confrontation and dislike between Sharon and Phyllis that's really intense, and show us how Nick fits in the middle of that. Meanwhile, Jack has a crisis at Jabot on this 2006 episode, and Victoria keeps a secret from Brad Carlton, a face we haven't seen in a while. And then back to new episodes on Thursday, January 2nd, 2025, we have got season 52, episode 61. Jordan has a new victim in her sights. So this spoiler could be about Sharon, or it could be about Claire. And I tend to think it's more about Claire, who she said was her next big victim. Mariah is haunted by her past. And of course, that's all about Ian, all about what he's done with Tessa. And Nick discovers something shocking on Thursday. Maybe he will figure out that Sharon has been taken because her car is there, but she's not. By Friday, January 3rd on season 52, episode 62, we have got Victor making a threat to Ian Ward. So by then, somehow Victor has figured out Ian is in town. He does like to blackmail the Newmans out of money by kidnapping people. So maybe he's going to do that, or maybe Nick will figure out that Ian is involved with what happened to Sharon. Security cameras or something, we'll see. And Phyllis has a secret to share with Daniel. And we do know that Ian is hoping to frame Phyllis for what they're doing to Sharon. So if she's making threats about Sharon to Daniel and then this thing happens, it could get really messy. Kyle and Claire celebrate New Year's Eve in fine style. And I just wonder if that's when Jordan is going to make a move on her great niece.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.